Hello beautiful souls, I am Awakened Soul, and today we're going to be reviewing Ethereum and setting it up for our next trade. First thing is we're going to start on our weekly time frame this time around. Usually I like the monthly, but it's okay. On the weekly time frame we're going to do a one touch, two touches here, and then one touch, two touch. Beautiful. And how to get bullish and bearish targets from here. So our bullish target will be based on this lowest point. Turning on your pivot highs and lows indicator, you are gonna set a vertical line here, and then your target would be 3,000, right? That is a weekly target. Let me go ahead and orange. No, weeklies are yellow, sorry. Okay, and what's my bearish target? Let's say this would roll over to the downside. It's kind of hard because it hasn't yet, so I would know which peak is the highest peak here. But yeah, so we're just gonna go to with their bullish target. If we break down to the downside, I guess we could do this one touch, two touches, right? This is our highest peak here. So I would place a vertical line here, and my bearish target would be right here at 942. Okay, beautiful. Those are my weekly bullish and bearish targets. Now we're gonna go to the daily. Within the daily, I am gonna connect some trend lines based on my higher high, lower low indicator here. I'm gonna set it at 30. Perfect, just to see the most important highs and lows. So just based on this, I'm gonna connect this lower high to this high. Okay, wait, come on. Let me go ahead and change it to yellow. Oh, everything is yellow. Sorry, the rest had to be orange. Oh, I hate doing this, but I have to be particular with my colors because by the end of the video, I have a techno party going on, and if I don't color coordinate everything, I will be lost within all the trend lines. So I use the chakra colors. Monthly is red, weekly is orange, daily is yellow. 4 hours are green, and then we have our 1 hour is blue. Okay, so and small time frames are purple. So we have this trend line here, and I'm going to connect from this low to this higher low. Okay, so if we cross to the upside, right, based on this low, then we could do two targets. So if we cross to the upside, this is our the lowest point based on one touch, two touches here, right? So my daily target for this bullish would be right here, 1955. Okay, 1947, and my next one would be based on this lowest peak here, right? We have 2066. Okay, so another thing that I just added to my charts is the supply and demand zones, right? I think it's important to consider them as this is a liquidity game. So just really quick, just viewing on where the zones could be the next zone. So we have a nice zone here, right? Because we already crossed here. And I'm just viewing them on my monthly time frame, weekly time frame, right? And let's not get ahead of ourselves so quickly. Let's, you know, we're day traders here, so just next zone here. So this would be my next zone right here. So I'm gonna put a box around here. So it would be like a double top, you know. So what I'm trying to find is confluence of where my next play is gonna happen, right? Got liquidity, we have targets. Okay, so now that we have that, the daily bearish target. So let's say this is high, this is the high, and we don't cross this high and we start rolling to the downside. I would use this high to determine my low target based on placing a vertical line here. And if we would roll to the downside, this would be my target. Okay, beautiful. Let me remove here. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Let me erase. Okay, and then we're gonna go to a 4 hours here. Within the 4 hours, we're gonna connect some trend lines, right? Just connect some trend lines here. Beautiful. 4 hours are green. So this was a megaphone, but now we have to consider this high that's playing here. So I'm going to connect this low. Another thing, so this looks like a flag. Do you see it? This is like a channel here. Check that out. Right? So every time the charts move, you got to consider a new pattern. And if you're not following me in my Twitter, go ahead and follow me on my Twitter as I do update and share my setups at awakenedsoul_369. Right? So this is beautiful. Okay, let's go back here. So based on this flag, we could get a measured move. And again, I want the confluence more than anything based on this high, right? Check that out. This would be my flagpole. What would it be? Or would it be to the first high? Right? I think it's to the first high because it makes more sense. So 20K, 20,000 would be my target. I feel comfortable with that. It's just confluence from this flagpole, right? From the bottom to the high, from the low to the high. Right, I think it makes sense. 20K. If we break this resistance here. Okay, and this would be my 4 hour target, flagpole target. Let me color it. Then let me highlight it really quick here. So I know this is also a 4 hour. Okay. Another thing I want to, just like I have a bullish target, always consider a bearish target. And I'm going to turn on my 1226 EMAs. Right, it's important to view them as I trade with the flow. So on your weekly, we're bullish as price actions above 12 and 26. Daily, we're bullish as price action is above 12.26. 4 hours, bullish, price action above 12.26. So in my 4 hours, I'm also going to draw this trend line just in case. Like I said, always expect the unexpected, right? From this low to this higher low. So, and I'm going to set an alarm here. So if this trend line would break to the downside, I will consider a short. Okay. I like this. Another thing that I didn't, well, we'll get to it. Don't forget your ranges within, let's start off on the daily, right? I like to get my ranges from the previous candle. So this would be my resistance that we broke, right? Resistance. And the reason I want to find my range is because I want to trade and I want to set it up for today. Everything's looking pretty bullish right now. but I need to confirm everything also, right? This is my day range. Day range is yellow. Okay, now we're going to go 4 hours. My 4 hours, we're going to set a range 2. This is going to be my high. Because I'm telling you, a lot of people are like, it looks bullish, absolutely, but it has to cross this high. If it doesn't cross this high, this flag pull is not going to get played out, right? And then we could just roll to the downside. So this is a great zone to place an alarm on your high to confirm the upside movement here, crossing up, right? And when your alarm's alarm, don't just take the trade, because sometimes it'll wick up and then come back down. So my setup for my next play. So this is my high, right? We broke the daily high, and now we made a new high here, but technically it's a lower high from our previous high, right? So that's something you need to consider, because this could still be confirming a lower high. So in my 30 minutes, oh, that's why. You usually have 2 higher high, lower lows. Higher high, lower lows. So one's always set at 30 and the other one I like to play around with it. Let's go ahead and set it at 9. Maybe 6. Okay, just play around with it. I want to see some highs and lows, but not so many. Okay, so I have my range here. This would be my high. This will confirm the flag, the big flag that we saw in the 4 hours, and play that flag pull. But till this high is broken. This high is not broken, I'm not playing it. So then we have 1 touch, 2 touches, and this is in my 30 minutes. So let's do it blue. Okay, so okay, so this would be my low. Okay, so for me to take a short, I want this low to break, I want this trend line to break, and I want my 12 and my 26 to flip bearish in the 30 minutes. Okay, for me to even consider a sharp break, retrace, and then continue to the downside. We continue to the upside. This does look like a little bull flag here. See it right here, right? And just based on this measure move from the low to the high, right? This could be our next target as it continues to the upside, right? Then another accumulation, an upside, accumulation, upside. It's part of the cycle of the market. It's a contraction trend, contraction trend. So that's something to consider. And this would be my alarms, my low, my high. Let it break and then retest, and then we continue to the upside. Okay, so I hope that made sense. May the force be with you. Remember to do everything with love.